In this video, I'm going to break down one simple defensive technique that makes you 10 times harder to hit, especially if you're a come forward fighter, you like to go on the front foot and attack a lot. You're going to need this, and you can implement it straight away as soon as you watch this video and see the results of it in your next spar. I'm going to break down the adjustment, I'm going to give you a demonstration, give you some mobility drills, and give you some mental cues as well as some resistance band drills to help you actually pull off this adjustment. Okay, so what's the number one way of stopping someone being able to hit you? Obviously, it's just stepping out of range because they can't reach you. But outside of that, it's just making yourself a really small target. And what most people think when you tell them to make themselves a small target is basically just bring their hands up, cover their face like this. The only problem with doing this, of course, one, you're leaving all this space here. And two, well, the main point is you're meant to punch from the shoulder. So my fist is about shoulder height when I go to throw a punch, right? And it's there because that's when my shoulder's relaxed. When I bring my hands up above shoulder height like this, I'm now using the flexion of this muscle here to keep my arm up, along with a bit of bicep flexion as well. So I'm keeping my arms up like this, but I'm not going to be able to punch from the shoulder because my shoulders aren't relaxed and my fists aren't low enough. Okay, so what's an adjustment that I can make that makes me a smaller target? Okay, the first one is obviously be more side on, because being more side on, I'm sure you've heard that before, means that there's less you can see or less targets you can see from straight on that you'll be able to hit. Okay, especially if I've got my chin down, tucked behind this shoulder or behind this hand. But the adjustment that you can make that makes you much, much harder to hit, and it's just one simple thing, is just pushing your spine, or your upper spine, backwards, like this. So you see good postures like this, right? With your shoulders back. You're rounding your upper back like this, right? Really bad posture. We need to imagine, you see like them really old ladies who've got like extremely bad thoracic rounding, they're literally like this. Walk around, that's what I want you to imitate, because that in of itself, if you look at from front on in my stance, okay, going from here, upright in my guard, okay, and then I push my spine back and round my back like this, automatically my elbows come in front of my body like this, my hands come tighter, and what I'm actually doing when I do that is I'm shortening the distance between my temple and my hip, okay. When I'm upright like this, so you make yourself tall, okay, the distance from my temple to my hips quite far. As soon as I start to round my back in like this, the distance from my temple to my hip shortens, okay, and that is the distance of where my forearm covers. Okay, so basically you're making yourself smaller so that your guard can do more. And when your guard can do more, there's less places you can be punched, okay? You can just see from here to here. Okay, so Tony's just thought of a really good analogy which explains what I'm trying to demonstrate here with the background in.
Okay, so imagine this. Your index fingers are glued to right under your eyes like this, okay? They're glued here. Now, if you're not in shape, your elbows won't touch you. You need to get in shape. All you need to do is bring your elbows to touch your body, and now the only adjustment needed is tilt the hips.
Right, now I know I've shown you the adjustment, but there's actually a lot of more points that I need to explain for you to fully understand what I'm trying to teach you here, okay? So don't just think, all right, I know what to do now, just go and do it, okay? Watch the rest of the video, and I'm going to leave the most important things till last. So you have to watch it all. Now, to further improve my shape from being upright to rounding, I also need to push my hips back slightly like this, okay? This just makes me even smaller of a target. If I come up like this, then naturally there's more of my lower stomach being exposed, and I'm actually in a really weak position like this. When you get hit here, you'll just be off balance and you'll just fall back. So something a lot of beginners need to be told or be taught is that their hips need to be pushed back like this, okay? When the hips are back, you just have a lot more stability. If you think of like a sumo wrestler or a rugby player or anyone who does any sort of, you know, forceful movement forwards, they've always got their hips back and they're pushing that way, okay? But you don't see someone get into a scrum and just stand there like this, do you? They always have their hips back so they can drive through. And that's the same. It gives you stability and an ability to withstand force being pushed onto you. So when your hips are up like this, you just fall back. When they're back, you know, you can withstand it, you can push back a lot easier. The only problem with doing that, when I push my hips back, is I'm bringing my head slightly forward, all right? So once I've pushed my hips back, I'm just gonna tilt this shoulder down slightly, okay? So we've gone from here, hips back, back rounded, shoulder down, okay? Now we just wanna go slightly more side on, and we can use this lead shoulder as a block, okay? With this shoulder down a little bit lower, we can use this shoulder to block, or we can bring this hand across here and use a cross guard like this. So I can just switch between, if I wanted to come more onto the center and throw my straight shots, I can bring this hand up here, and that's where I can throw my straight shots, still staying small. So I'm not coming up into good posture again. I'm still staying really small when I throw the straight shots, okay? But that's when I'm on the center. If I want to come back a little bit more, I can use this hand here to block this side and this side. Use this forearm to block all the body shots and block these shots here as well. Okay, so stage 1, go from here to back rounded. Stage 2, push your hips back. Stage 3, drop your rear shoulder and use shoulder roll. Use the different types of blocks, okay? Get comfortable in that position. And here's a way to better get comfortable in that position. You need to get really light resistance band, so nothing with like too much tension in it, and then just put your hands either side, and you just wrap it around as close to your elbows as you can. So I wrap it around my back like that, lower down on my back, so it's just on my elbows like that, okay? And from there, I just have it in my hands like this, all right? And then this just helps me keep my elbows really close in like this and round my back as best as I can. Now from here, you should be able to see both your elbows, okay? If you've got your arms like this, then you're basically it's just a waste of a drill. You're just training yourself to do it worse, okay? So make sure that your elbows are in front of you and you can see them there. And when you can see them there, that's basically where they can just rest on your body. So I talked at the start about having your hands up and how it causes tension in the shoulders and your arms. Okay, you can completely get rid of all of that tension, still throw punches with your hands up like this by having your elbows in front of your body and resting on your body. And you can only rest them on your body when you round your back really, with really poor posture, okay, like the old granny, okay? So rounding your back up as much as you can, your elbows can now sit on your body instead of you having to hold them up with tension in your arms and your shoulders. Okay, so you even see a lot of professional boxers still, their posture is like too upright. So then they have to use all the muscles in their arms and shoulders to keep their hands up like this. Especially if you go into a high guard and that's what you're doing most of the time. It's just going to burn a bunch of energy. It's going to make it really hard to throw punches. You're not going to be able to be relaxed. And your body's going to be open. So just get the elbows in front of your body, on your body, round your back, make yourself small, and they should just sit in here like this with your hands still quite high and your chin down, your back rounded, okay? Hips back like this. This is the position you want to be in. And then I can come over to my rear shoulder being down slightly to use this lead shoulder, okay? Now, probably the most important component of having this tight, bad posture shape is how high your chin is, okay? Because it's all well and good having your shoulders rounded, but if your chin's up here, it doesn't really do much, okay? Because your hands can't defend any of the shots without bringing them up and exposing your body. You've got to have your chin as tucked down as possible like this, all right? And a mistake I make quite a bit is sometimes I have my head in the same relative direction as my body. All right, so my head might be facing this way slightly if I'm jabbing, but this just means you're mega open. You got to make sure that your chin stays on your lead shoulder like this, okay? But it wants to be tucked down as possible. So you should feel a stretch going down the opposite side of the back of your neck like this, okay? So it's just like that. That's how you basically want to be. It's not that you want to pull your chin down, and contract the muscles in the front of your neck. That's the opposite of what you want to do. Instead, you just relax the muscles in the back of your neck and just let your chin just drop. So it's just above your chest like that. And then that's where you can basically block all of the punches with just your forearms, from shortening that distance from your temple to your hip, just rounding your back and just being small like this. Yeah, by the way, just so you know, your lead hand should be just above your eye line when you're on the center. Your rear hand should be just under your cheekbone there, that you can use here and here and here. And then when you drop that rear shoulder, this hand can be here, this shoulder can deflect, this hand can come in front of your front of your face there, and on the side as well. Okay, so there's a few of the different positions that you should learn. Okay, get the resistance band, get in the right shape, and then just practice being a small target, keeping your chin down and performing cross guard, Philly shell, using the shoulder roll. Literally just making this adjustment has made a massive difference for all of the people in my online boxing community. They're basically just going from, as soon as they come in there like this, as soon as they come into a more rounded posture, then they just look way more of a boxer. It's like the boxer look, right? And if you are interested in my online boxing coaching community, then check the link in the description, and I'll make sure your shape's actually good. All right, goodbye.